What you are going to learn right now is how to create your bidding proposal, how to create a preliminary checklist for your project. You are going to learn how to read your project scope of work and what you need in order to have a bidding proposal for your clients ready to go. So here we okay guys, so here we go. We are going through the whole project construction specifications for the project, the whole general information and everything that that you might see in your client's scope of work. Okay, so here we are looking at an example of a warehouse. So we are going to go through this and I would be telling you what are the key points that you need to be looking at when you see this type of information and documentation. You don't need to go through everything. Trust me, you don't need to go through every single little thing. If you want to do that, it's up to you. I'm not telling you not to do it, but you don't need to do it because we are focused on specific information that we can find in these documents. So let's go. Let's start. Once you see on your scope of work that there is going to be site works, you know that you are going to be doing a new construction. And this could be, it all depends on the rating system. Okay, we are not jumping in right now to that. We are going to check what we have right now. We are going to go by steps. I don't want you get all crowded with information, so let's go on. Site works, earthworks. With that, you know it's a new construction. Okay, we're good, right? Let's go on. You don't need to know exactly what's going to happen in the site works. This is mostly for civil engineers. Grading and leveling, we don't see much about this because I will just be patient with me. I will be explaining why we are not going through all of this information right now, because our process is very clear and our process is very practical, and we have very clear process for each phase of the construction and each phase of the design process and each phase of the delivery process and commissioning process. So bear with me, okay? We are not going through that. We are going to jump our topographic survey, site clearings and demolitions. We don't need that information. Demolitions, we don't need that information. You're just going to continue excavation. You don't need to know anything about this. What the project scope is for this. Soil fill embankment, base course, asphalt pavement. Okay, base course and asphalt pavement general guidelines. Here we go. So why do we start here? We need to know what's the scope of work, the original scope of work of the project, to understand how we are going to create our checklist and what we will be needing or adding up for our project to obtain a certification, a sustainable certification. Okay, so bear with me. So in your scope, your client has building concrete slab, asphalt, concrete, and asphalt. And this is for the base course. This is for the layers, right? Okay, bear with me. We have asphalt pavement general guidelines and base course and asphalt pavement general guidelines. Here we go. So why do we start here? We need to know what's the scope of work, the original scope of work of the project, to understand how here we can see applicable for the areas described in the drawings with this type of payment. So this is why we need this information from the client. When the scope of work it's not clear enough, we need our drawings to see where the asphalt pavement will be in the project and the percentage of this asphalt. Okay, so keep notes. You need to know what type of flooring it would be in the interior and the exterior. Remember guys, exterior and interior. We're not going to the interior yet. We are in the exterior right now. So we know that there's going to be a mixture of concrete and asphalt. Keep doing your notes, okay? So you're going through all this information. You are going to read all of this information. I am not going to read this information right now with you because we can extend this class forever. So I'm just going to give you key notes, key things that you need to check on with this type of documentation, okay? So you're going through the type of pavement that you're going to have in your project and where the pavement is going to be located in your project. You can see that there's going to be asphalt for parking lots, asphalt for truck yard and roadways. So practically the only concrete that you would have would be in sidewalks and curbs. Okay, so just make sure you have those things on mind, that you have this information very, very clear. And when you are reading this documentation, you are taking notes of the specific things, these specific features, okay, of your project, the scope of your project. Concrete on sidewalks, walkways. It's concrete finishing, broom cat, okay, stainless steel, all right. Main access floor and steps. This would be, it says, okay, concrete. Here we go. It would be concrete. So just make sure what type of floors are you having in your exterior and your interior, okay? There we go. Impervious finish. Okay. Okay, guys, keep taking notes. Stormwater. You will need to know what the client is planning to do with the stormwater, okay? So please check this this part of the document. You will need to know where are slopes on your project. It might not be here in your scope of work, but you can check that on your drawings. Make sure you know where your slopes are, okay? We are going to get to that. Just take notes. And those are key things that you are looking for. These are key things that we are looking for in our documentation, in our scope of work, and the client's original scope of work for the project, okay? So pavement accessories, we don't really want to go into that. We just want to know what type of pavements are they using for the exterior and the interior, what type of flooring we are using for the exteriors and the interiors. Foundations, we do not go into foundations. Here we go, design criteria for foundations. We don't go through that. Subgrade, this is earthworks, reinforcing steel mesh. No, we don't go through this. Concrete and steel reinforcement, we don't go through this. Retention walls, we don't go through this, but later on, we will be checking this in case that the project is having very steep slopes, okay? Concrete slabs, we do not check on this. We just know that these concrete slabs are usually on the interior, so we know that we're using concrete for the interior flooring, okay? Concrete slab design criteria, we don't go into detail. Reinforcement, pouring and finishing. What you can check on the pouring and finishing of the concrete is the type of materials that they're using. But we don't usually, when we're doing a bidding process or a bidding proposal, we don't go very detailed into materials that they're using. We don't do searching in this phase because it's the bidding process. We just need to have a general analysis of the project, not a detailed analysis of the project, okay? So you can go ahead and read this in your scope of work just to make sure and check if you might be needing some changes on the materials that they're using for the finishes of the concrete and pure concrete for the project. It all depends on what we are looking for, and we will go on that. Just bear with me, okay? I don't want to jump in so much detail and so much information I just want you guys to go step by step, step by step. Slab sealant is the same thing. We are going to check that information of the materials that are being used, and I'll go through that in a little while. Okay, you can check that. Just have and make your notes of what type of materials they're using for the cure concrete. Okay, the curecrete. Sorry. Joints. We don't go into joints. Isolation joints. We don't go into that. Warranties, we don't go into warranties. Design criteria, we know that we're using concrete. We just need to know where the concrete is going to be used. And the same thing here, type of concrete. You can take notes on this. For example, what type of concrete they're using or they're asking for. So this is good. Once you get the project assigned to you, you might know that the client is already having this these specifications for its concrete, and we'll go on detail later on. Just make sure you're taking notes of all of this. Reinforcement for pavements, we don't go into that. Concrete pouring and finishing, just materials, if so. If not, we don't go into that. And here we go. We are going to pass on that. Structure, we don't check structure. We are going to pass on that. So I just want you guys to have exactly the information that you would be needing for you to make a bidding proposal, okay? Exterior walls. For these type of projects, they're mostly, or warehouses, they're always concrete, tilt-up walls or block. But for this type of project, they're always tilt-up walls. It's concrete, so you know that that you won't have like much of a deal with concrete in your projects. Okay, so just make sure that you know that when you're using concrete in your projects, you won't have that much of a deal. When you're using drywall, you have to check materials. When you're using wood, you need to check where it comes from. Okay, make sure you're taking notes. So before we do continue with this lesson, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like this video if you're liking it so far, and share this content so you know that might benefit from this information. And without further ado, we can continue now. Thank you so much. See, we can see this right here. It jumps out. So you know that the client is actually taking into consideration low VOC compliant, okay? Like those things do come up. Just make sure you take notes of all of these small things that may be coming up in your scope of work, okay? What we need to know is that what type of HVAC equipment we are going to be having in our project, okay? But I believe that that information will be a little bit more detailed. Exterior walls finishes. Sometimes they do have their, here we go, their brands. Okay, and you can take notes of the brands of the paint that they are considering using on their project, because once you get it assigned, you will need to know if this complies with LEED or not. Okay, so those are like extra notes that you may take, just so you have them on hand once the project is assigned to you. Okay. Exterior wall windows. Here, what you're looking for is the type of brand that they're using for their windows. And aluminum frames, this type of brand, you can take notes on that. And here we go. This is one of the informations that you may need further on after you get your project assigned. Okay. So keep taking notes, guys. Keep taking notes of all of this. Roofing. Here we go. This is another thing that you need to check. On roofing, you need to make sure what type of roofing your project is considering. For these type of projects, they usually work with metal roofing, corrugated metal roofing. I don't see it here, but that's what they usually work with. And oh, here we go. Roofing structural metal panels. So here you may check this information right here and get the information that you need, for example, brands. So you would have that reference further on, later on for your project, okay? Just make sure you're taking notes on this. Roofing panels, take notes. Here we go. This is another thing that may help. And you'll see right now, you'll see when we'll get to the format where we do our bidding process and our project analysis, you'll see why I'm telling you guys to check this information on your specifications and scope of work of your project. Okay. The insulation blanket that they're using for your roofing. This is another information that you would be needing. Skylights, here we go. This is another thing that you should be looking for in your scope of work is the amount of skylights that the project will be having in the roof. These type of projects usually have their skylights on their roof, and they're usually 5% of skylights, but I don't see the percentage here. So you need to check that with your client to see what's the percentage that they're considering to have in their project for skylights, okay? And just make sure you have the information that you need about these skylights, the brands, and any relevant information that you may need from this. The thing that does catch my eye here are the walls. It seems like we're having concrete walls. We are having concrete floor. And that's what we're looking for here, okay, guys? So it's going to be concrete guardhouse. And here is more information. This is what you guys are looking for. Finishes, brands. This is what you're looking for. Restroom. There's no more detail, but you might check on those details on your drawings. So make sure that you check your drawings. Glazing. These are for the windows. Okay, same thing. Check for brands, models, and finishes. Doors. The doors, check on what type of doors they're considering for a guardhouse, because this will be on the scope of work or the boundary in this place. Restroom door, it says here that it's a metal door with wood structure. So now you know that you will have metal and you would have wood, okay? So just make sure that you are taking notes on this information. Brands of paint finish. Guardhouse services, you need to know what type of services you would have in the guardhouse. And they are asking for a tank toilet, so you would be checking this information of your guardhouse, okay? You do need to know what type of accessories would be on the restroom of the guardhouse. The electric fixtures, you need to know what type of fixtures they are considering for your guardhouse, okay? So make sure that you are highlighting this information on your specs. Voice and data, we don't go into that unless we are having some kind of automated system, okay? AC, split, mini split unit. And take note of this. We will be going through this in just a moment. What else do we have here? Okay, Trick Works. Let's see what we have here. What we usually look here, or what we usually look for, is the type of fixtures that we're using for the projects. And what I mean is interior lighting. All of this, medium voltage, high voltage, all of this is groundings. All of this, it's part of the commissioning process, but we don't go through this in our scope or bidding process, okay? This is what we're looking for. What type of lighting we are using for our project. What type of lighting our client is considering for its project, okay? Okay, guys, you have to check on domestic water. And what you're looking for is what accessories or what areas are having potable water delivered to, okay? So just make sure if that information is here. If it's not here, then it might be in a further part of this document, okay? It's the type of materials that they're using for their facades, and take notes on specific materials that you may catch around here. And that's for just further information, not for the bidding process, okay, guys? Just make sure that you take what you need and not like the whole thing, because you won't need the whole thing. Many things may change, so you won't need to have everything. Landscaping, you do need to know what type of landscaping they're using. And here we start with LEED, okay, guys? So the project here is its objective is having LEED certified their project. And so here we start seeing and reading about LEED credits. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all of this right now, but this is the type of information that you're looking for in these documentations, okay? Landscaping plants. Later on, you will need this table. So just make sure you do highlight this. These tables of plants that the client is considering for their landscape. Okay, irrigation system. You do need to know what type of irrigation system is considered for your project. Okay, just make sure you take notes on that. Here's the table. And let me just be very, very clear. Not all of the scope of work of projects are this detailed. This is a very, very detailed scope of work of this project, of this client. So I just want to make that clear that not every client have their scope of work this clear enough and with this type of information. They're considering LEED certification for general criteria and guidelines, and this is a old version of LEED for current shell. So they're telling you what type of rating system they are using or they are considering for their project. Sometimes you will see that, sometimes they're not even looking forward from the beginning originally on a LEED certification or any sustainable certification for their project. And just because they heard about it or because they have, that doubt that they want to know how much does it cost and what are the benefits and if they really want to do it or not. So you might see it, you might not see it. In this case, we're looking at it, so let's go on. And you have to check up on all of the LEED requisites of the project, of the client. So you would have to read exactly every little thing that they have specified for the certification in this case, okay? Anything that is relevant to the sustainable certification, you will be going deep on this information to check exactly what the client is looking for and the objective of the project, okay, guys? So material selection, you can go ahead and do this and check up on this information right here. This is what you're looking for in your project. Just make sure that you have clear on your scope of work, on the project scope of work, these type of things. I didn't see HVAC, but if you have your documentation where you can check on, and it's very specific, the HVAC system that the project will be having, that's another thing that you will be needing to do your bidding process. Okay, guys? So this is it for right now. This is the video for your what you need to look for on your project scope of work. And stay tuned, guys, because there's another video. There's another maybe 2 videos that we are having for you where we are going to structure the checklist. Okay, guys? So see you guys in the other video. Bye, guys.
Well, this is the end of this video, of this lesson. And well, it's been a pleasure for me to share this content with you. I hope that this information and this content is of value for you. I only ask that if you are liking this content, you're liking this information, just hit the subscribe button, give me a like, and share these videos with whom may need this information, that may need these lessons. And I'll just see you in